Hello everyone, I hope you all had a wonderful week. Welcome to InfoScope. I'm your host, Tana Kim. InfoScope is back with the latest from the IT and science worlds. Social media like Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram are now part of our everyday lives, meaning that there is a lot of information going around. On that note, Korean researchers have come up with a technology that can speed up the process of analyzing big data. Let's find out more on Briefing Scope. A team led by Professor Kim Sang-uk of Hanyang University's Department of Computer Science and Engineering has developed a way to speed up the analysis of big data from social media. This new method is hundreds of times faster than current methods of analyzing social media data. A team led by Professor Choi Hyun-yong of Yonsei University's Department of Electrical Engineering has succeeded in boosting the rate at which electrons move by 2,400%. This was achieved by firing a harmless laser at a topological insulator, a new type of material. Should this technology be further developed, it has the potential to replace X-rays. Korean researchers have confirmed that a Korean traditional medication called Palmiwon can alleviate symptoms of menopause. Researchers fed a rat with high levels of cholesterol and fat in its blood Palmiwon for 8 weeks and found that the levels of LDL cholesterol, often called the bad cholesterol, had dropped. Its arteriosclerosis index also improved by 56%. New research has shown that the sound of the Korean traditional drum, or puk, can prevent anaphylaxis, a serious allergic reaction that can lead to death. The research team found that the sound of the drum is similar to the sound of the heartbeat, hence it can have an impact on the blood pressure, heartbeat, and the nervous system. A related treatment method has been patented in the United States. It is truly impressive that the Korean puk can be used in the field of medicine. Now moving on, did you know that this year marks the 50th anniversary of human spacewalks? And I always wondered what equipment went into spacewalks. So today, let's take a look at the spacesuit and the technology involved. Here's more on Industry Inside.
An astronaut in outer space relies on the golden umbilical cable while using a maneuvering gun to control direction. In March 1965, Soviet cosmonaut Alexei Leonov became the first human to conduct a spacewalk, stepping out of his craft for 12 minutes. The most important part of a spacewalk is a strong and light spacesuit. A typical spacesuit has about 7 or 8 hours worth of oxygen and drinkable water. While it is thin, it is also multi-layered to combat temperature differences of at least 100 degrees Celsius in space and handle zero gravity. Recent spacesuits are custom-made to fit the physique of their wearers and feature a jetpack to allow freedom of movement in space. From the first ever 12 minutes, spacewalks can now go on for up to 8 hours. All these technologies seem to transform the spacesuits into miniature spaceships. Thanks to the technology, life on Mars could become the reality in the future. Hubo the robot opens a door, enters the room, and twists a gas valve to stop a gas leak. It can also drill a hole in the wall and walk up a flight of stairs. The technology that granted a victory at a global robotics challenge in June of this year has been put on display for the first time in Korea. These robots pick up numerous balls and drop them in the basket above. Facing a time limit of 2 minutes, the robot creators are seeing whose robot is the most precise and the fastest. People can ride automated cars, which feature various artificial intelligence technologies in one package. They are riveted by the technologies that they've only seen on TV. Robots of different designs are gathered here. They are being deployed in various fields such as medicine, production, and service. This autonomous electric car is capable of driving on both straight and curved roads. The car uses 4 cameras, radar, and a laser scanner to pick up on nearby topographical features. Moreover, it uses the information it picked up to create a digital map in real time.
여러 가지 센서들이 장착되어 있는데 이 센서들에서 들어오는 데이터들은 서로 다른 형태의 모습으로 가지고 있는데요. 이 데이터들을 지도라는 곳에다가 같이 동일한 어떤 포맷으로 넣게 되면 기존에 없던 새로운 지도 형태가 나옵니다.
A precise and detailed digital map is one of the key factors of an autonomous vehicle. The map shows which lane the car is on, whether there are any accidents nearby, and other helpful information.
자율주행과 관련된 여러 가지 센서라든지 GPS 기술 이런 거는 갖고 있지만 지리 정보에 대한 기술은 저희가 갖고 있지 않습니다.
지도와 관련된 그동안에 축적된 지식과 경험 그리고 융합기술원의 기술을 결합함으로써 저희들은 이 분야에서 세계적인 선도 역할을 해나갈 수 있다고 생각합니다.
Korea's goal is to commercialize autonomous vehicles by the year 2020. The global autonomous vehicle market is predicted to hit $40 billion in 2025, and by 2035, 1 out of every 4 cars will be uncrewed. Digital mapping technology will only become more important. This is electronic skin developed by Korean researchers. When it comes into contact with a stainless steel mug, a nearby monitor shows how much strength it exerted to hold the mug. This electronic skin can distinguish different materials like glass, sandpaper, or paper. Fingerprints provide an anti-slip surface and also register microsurfaces. The electronic skin imitates that very feature.
전자 피부가 표면하고 접촉을 할 때 이 인공지문 패턴이 이제 진동 신호를 만들 수 있는데 이 진동 신호가 미세 표면의 이제 거칠기에 따라서 이제 다르게 나오는데 그래서 이제 전자 피부가 미세한 표면의 질감을 감지할 수 있습니다.
When the artificial fingerprint touches a surface, a unique bump-like structure underneath amplifies the touch sensation and transmits it.
There's plenty of room at the bottom.
The electronic skin can also pick up sound. The skin can recognize the changes of the vibration when the sound changes. Further development can result in features similar to voice recognition in smartphones. This research can be applied to robots, prosthetics, and wearable electronics, among others. The research results were published in the scientific journal Science Advance.
It's impressive to see how far electronic skin research has come. On the topic of artificial skin, there is bound to be interest in this field among people concerned with balding. Alopecia areata, also known as spot balding, is triggered by stress, and American researchers have come up with a new treatment for spot baldness. Let's find out more on Take a Peek.
The body of this bald rat is covered in thick black fur. It happened in the span of 3 weeks. The rat was treated with medication for myelofibrosis, a blood disorder, and medication for rheumatoid arthritis. Applying these medications, which seem to have no connection to baldness, has resulted in hair growth. Spot baldness occurs when there is an immune disorder. Cells from the immune system mistakenly identify hair follicles as foreign substances and attack them, resulting in bald patches. The medications used by the researchers from Columbia University contain immunosuppressants. The medication reduces the reaction of the immune system and makes it recognize the hair follicles as part of the body. As the medication is topical and not ingested, there is hair growth but no side effects of a weaker immune system. The stem cells of hair follicles are stimulated so that they enter the growth phase. Alzheimer's disease occurs when harmful materials fill the brain and result in brain cell loss. Korean researchers have developed a way to detect how much progress the disease has made by utilizing a simple blood test. First, the researchers have confirmed that a person afflicted with Alzheimer's disease has an immune system reaction that results in an abnormal growth of the spleen. Based on this knowledge, the researchers compared proteins from the immune system of a mouse with Alzheimer's disease. They found that the mice had lower levels of these proteins and that the farther along the disease was, the lower the level. In short, it is possible to see how far the disease has progressed based on the amount of this protein. Researchers predict that an accurate analysis of the disease will make customized treatments for each patient possible. The number of Alzheimer's disease patients is expected to hit 1 million in Korea by 2025. Being able to diagnose the disease early on and treat it accordingly will help reduce the burdens of the disease. A severe hemorrhage is a frequent cause of death during a major accident or surgery. To staunch the bleeding, arteries are pinched or medication is used to shrink the blood vessels or arteries. However, unlike external bleeding, internal bleeding is hard to locate, and medications aren't effective if they don't reach the bleeding area. A group of Canadian researchers has developed self-propelling particles that can seek out the source of bleeding and deliver medications to stop bleeding. The particles release carbon dioxide to propel themselves, and microparticles from the carbonate bind with a blood-clotting agent and transport the agent to the wound. Researchers have confirmed that these particles stop the bleeding in a gunshot wound scenario for animals.
And then trauma from car accidents or battlefield, combat trauma is another area that we're interested in using this agent.
This new treatment method is expected to help boost the survival rate of people with severe bleeding. Patients of diabetes seek food more frequently than the average person, as their bodies are unable to properly create and release insulin. Insulin is responsible for the creation of the hormone leptin, which generates the signal of fullness. As a result, they consume more carbohydrates than needed and enter a vicious cycle of not being able to control their sugar levels and obesity. Researchers have developed a substance that inhibits the movement of glucose and fructose, which are released from carbohydrates.
감미 소재인 루브소사이드가 포도당하고 과당을 수송하는 그런 수송체를 저해하고요. 천연 소재인 그 아스트라갈린 배당체 이것이 과당의 수송체만을 아주 선택적으로 저해하는 그런 특성을 처음으로 확인하였습니다.
Since the sugar compounds cannot reach the cells, it keeps the blood sugar levels in check. Moreover, it also stops the conversion of excess sugar to fat, counteracting obesity. The ingredient is extracted from a plant known as stevia, which is found in Latin America, as well as from bracken. Researchers stated that the protein that transports fructose can also be found in breast cancer cells, adding that inhibiting this protein can also be effective in fighting breast cancer. They also have plans for commercializing and mass-producing this substance in the near future.
These days, the media has a lot of coverage on harmful foods, so it is refreshing to hear about a substance that has health benefits. Remember to have healthy daily habits like exercising and taking your vitamins, and consume healthy foods. Well, that's all I have for you for this week's episode of InfoScope. Be sure to tune in next week for more breaking news from the IT and science worlds. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you next week. Goodbye!